In today's video, we're going to be having a look at CELER network as well as Bitcoin, USDT. Bitcoin is king as we know, but we're also going to be having a look at this. We've been in a downtrend since the 4th of September 2021. And will CELER network break out? Let's have a look at some of the specs right here. Ranked 176, currently traded at 4 cents, guys. We got $275 million market cap, so quarter billion dollar market cap approximately. And volume to market cap ratio, which is important. We want to know if this coin is being traded. Are people interested in it? 13% is the volume to market cap ratio, which is fantastic. But before we dive into CELER TA, let's have a look at Bitcoin real quick and see what's up. So we know, guys, that when Bitcoin starts in a when Bitcoin enters a consolidation or a symmetrical triangle coming from a downward trend, we know that it will essentially continue coming down. It would have been different if Bitcoin was in a symmetrical triangle coming from the top like this and then continue to the upside. That would have been a different story, but now we are clearly coming from the downside. The bears are currently in control. This is a daily time frame. If we zoom in right here, we got a rejection right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could call this a rejection, a half a rejection as well, but this is a very, very, very strong resistance right here. Now, there is something that we have to look at is the support region right here, which is 1, 2, 3. We have 3 rejections right here. So the question is, are we going to come back, test it, and then come back up before coming back down? Or are we going to break out of this? Or are we going to break down? So of course, this is why you have to play the breakout and always put stop losses. If you're going to take a short, make sure to put your stop losses at this region right here, a little bit above the trend line. And if you're going to take this, if you're going to take a long, make sure to put your stop losses right here below the support trend line level. So there's 2 points you want to have a look at essentially. I wouldn't be taking any trades right now unless you're doing extremely low leverage. Of course, guys, none of this is financial advice, so always do your own research and due diligence. But that is that on Bitcoin on the daily time frame. Let's have a look on the bigger time frame a little bit on the weekly. So we did have a beautiful, beautiful close actually last week, 14th of March. That was a pretty nice weekly candle, and now we're actually continuing to the upside. So things are looking pretty good. This is a trend line I showed on the daily time frame. The question is, are we going to break that on the weekly and close it, or are we going to come back down and get rejected? That is something we're going to be asking ourselves the next coming days. And of course, right here, guys, this is the exponential moving average right here on the weekly time frame. This has been a clear, strong resistance right here on the EMA ribbons. If we manage to break above the EMA ribbons, which is 45,000, and we close above 45,000, then we will be bullish on Bitcoin. But until then, I will not be touching anything. The good thing is that we are above the EMA ribbon on the daily time frame, but the exponential moving average on the daily time frame is just going sideways. So there's nothing too crazy to see over here because we're just going sideways. RSI, we do have, we are currently in a trend right here. As you guys can see, this is a nice little trend right here. If we break below it, we're most likely going to come back down and retest the 30 RSI level. As we know, 30 is oversold. But on the weekly, if I go back on the weekly on the RSI, I think we still have some more room to go down in my opinion. I would like to see a peak and come back down like we saw on the 9th of March 2020. On the 4-hour time frame, we are right now at 40. We're actually at 50, and we know that 50 is actually an interesting level. It's strong resistance or support, I would say. 50 has always been a strong area for the RSI. We see a rejection right here, rejections right here, or a bounce off the support on the RSI. So we always see big movement happening around the 50 RSI, and right now we are currently at this level. So the question is, are we gonna see a dump or a massive pump? We're gonna have to see in the American Open or in the US Open in a few minutes. Another thing, guys, is CELER network. CELER network right here, something I wanna have a look at. We've been in this downtrend right here, in a heavy downtrend. We peaked at 20 cents, and ever since we've been down a fat 80%, guys. We've been down a fat 80%. So if you put $1,000, you would have only had $200, which is insane. But the good news is that if we go back up, it won't be 80% gain actually. It's going to be a 400% gain. So this is why longing, you always make money longing than shorting, of course, in the longer term. So it's actually very, very interesting that we're down 80%. And if you buy now, you could actually make 400% gain. But the question for CELER Network will depend on Bitcoin. Is if we manage to break above this level, we're most likely gonna, fly up. And at the end of the day, everything depends on Bitcoin. But we've been in a heavy channel right here, heavy downtrend for CELER Network. Very, very interesting. Let's have a look at the longer, bigger time frame right here. On the bigger time frame, we do have support at this level right here, currently sitting at 2 cents. The question is, are we going to come back and hit that level? Very, very possible. Let's have a look at the 4-hour time frame, shorter time frame real quick, zoom in. So on the 4-hour time frame, we are above this resistance right here, which was quite an interesting one. This was I don't want to say strong resistance, but this was a heavy resistance. We peaked right above it, and now we're actually right below it. The next resistance that we will have will be this level. Now, if Bitcoin does dump, I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down to this level, 3.5. Assuming you take a short right here, this would be approximately 12% dump. Can this happen? Very, very possible. Let's have a look at the RSI on the 4-hour time frame. Real quick, on the 4-hour time frame, we are below this trend line right here, of course, and that's because we were overbought, currently sitting at 76. We had to have a nice little pullback. And of course, in the trend, guys, we also had this nice little pullback. I thought that we were going to get a bounce right here yesterday, but we didn't. We broke below the trend line. Now we're most likely going to retest this trend line right here before coming back down. If everything is good with Bitcoin, we should continue up. Anyways, guys, this is my video on CELER and Bitcoin. If you guys like this video, of course, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next